Welcome to Pixar Movie Reviews. Today, we are talking about, as I promised, even though there are a lot of Pixar movies I like, there are also some that fall a lot lower for me. We had one a couple weeks ago with A Bug's Life, but now, these next few weeks, there are more Pixar movies that I would either prefer to only watch now and then, or would prefer not to watch at all. And the first of that bunch is Disney and Pixar's 7th feature film, Cars. So, you're probably going to ask, how much do I like the Cars films? And your answer? Look at this. This is my Lightning McQueen. It's the longest, biggest Lightning McQueen toy I've seen in my life. I got this around the time of Cars 3, so clearly I have more respect for the Cars films than most other people do. Cars was interesting for a few different reasons. It was a very personal story for the director, John Lasseter, who had not directed a Pixar film since the 90s, because he directed Toy Story, A Bug's Life, and Toy Story 2, and then he took some time off to spend with his wife and his 5 sons. He grew up in Los Angeles, where his mom was a high school art teacher, but his dad worked at a car parts auto dealership, so the movie combines John's two loves, cars and animation. It was also the last Pixar film to be independently produced by Pixar and distributed by Disney before Disney acquired Pixar and they became partners, due to Walt Disney Animation Studios not having a lot of really good films on their hands by themselves. Cars is also very personal because not only is John Lasseter the director, but he had a co-director who was a close friend of his. They'd been partners since Toy Story. It was Joe Ranft, who unfortunately passed away nearly a year before the film's release. So there was a dedication to him in the middle of the credits with video clips of some of the characters he voiced for Pixar. Moment of silence for him. Okay. Cars was released to theaters on June 9th, 2006. My dad, my sisters, and I saw it very late in the summer. It was end of July, beginning of August. It was, I think, the first movie I saw at the Jordan Creek Mall Theater here in Iowa. And then I think my mom saw it on home video when I got it on DVD. It's one of the more interesting Pixar features in that it's not for everyone, of course, but if you're into NASCAR racing or small-town dramas, then this is probably the movie for you. Cars wasn't the biggest box office hit Pixar had. It only made about $460 million worldwide, only surpassing the worldwide grosses of Pixar's first 2 movies, Toy Story and A Bug's Life. It's also the first Pixar movie to not get unanimous critical praise. Rotten Tomatoes only gives it a C of 75%. The good news is, Cars did get nominated for an Academy Award, actually 2 Academy Awards, including Best Animated Feature, and won the first ever Golden Globe Award for Best Animated Feature. So here's the story of Cars. As you probably could tell from my toy and the cover of the DVD, the star of the film was a hotshot rookie race car named Lightning McQueen, voiced by Owen Wilson, who's determined to win the Piston Cup and the snazzy Dynaco sponsorship that comes with it. But on his way to the biggest race of his life in California, he accidentally gets lost and winds up in Radiator Springs, a small, forgotten town on historic Route 66, where he meets a group of new characters who show him what it really takes to be a winner. One thing that ultimately strikes me about Cars is the voice cast. McQueen is our main character, voiced by Owen Wilson, and the 3 main characters he gets to know in Radiator Springs are a mentor, Doc Hudson, the town judge and doctor with a secret past, voiced by the legendary Paul Newman, a girlfriend, Sally the Porsche, who runs the Cozy Cone Motel, and his town attorney, voiced by Bonnie Hunt, who's been in other Pixar films, and McQueen gets a best friend, Mayor the Tow Truck, voiced by the wonderfully funny Larry the Cable Guy. There's also voice talent elsewhere in the film by the likes of Cheech Marin, Tony Shalhoub, Jennifer Lewis, Paul Dooley, the late George Carlin, obviously Pixar's good luck charm, John Ratzenberger, Michael Keaton, and they even have real-life racing voice cameos like Darryl Waltrip, Richard Petty, Dillon Hurt Jr., and more. There's also a really great soundtrack. Randy Newman, who did the music for Pixar's first 4 movies, from Toy Story through Monsters Incorporated, did the score for this film, and also wrote the James Taylor song, Our Town, which received an Oscar nomination for Best Song. That was the other Oscar nomination that Cars got, besides Best Animated Feature. There's also the opening song, Real Gun, written and performed by Sheryl Crow, and 2 songs written and performed by country singer Brad Paisley. There's also covers of classic songs, like Route 66, performed by John Mayer, and the personal favorite of mine, Live as a Highway, performed by Rascal Flatts, as well as a bunch of other songs. I also enjoy the message of that racing and winning is fun and all, but it's important to think about what really matters in life, like your friends and family, especially if they've been going through rough times. That's the lesson McQueen learns when he shows up in Radiator Springs and learns about the town's history. There are problems with this movie. First of all, I feel it's way too long. At about 116 minutes, it beat out The Incredibles for the time being as the longest Pixar movie ever. They probably could have shortened it to an hour and a half to 100 minutes. There are some parts I wouldn't get rid of, like the tractor tipping part with Mater and McQueen in the middle. And I definitely wouldn't get rid of the races. But there are some little bits of dialogue that could have been taken out and made the film much tighter. I also feel like some of the characters maybe don't get played to their strengths when they've got like 20 main characters in the film. It's kind of the same problem I had with all those characters in A Bug's Life. So maybe tighten the film a bit by taking out some little bits of dialogue that maybe they didn't need, and give some of the characters more to do besides just the 4 main characters, McQueen, Doc, Sally, and Mater. But other than that, the animation, the voice cast, the music, all that makes the story worth watching every now and then. Like I said, Cars is pretty low for me. I currently have it at number 14, which is pretty low. It's right above A Bug's Life at number 15. So, it's pretty low, but I still think it's worth checking out if you have kids in the family that love race cars, or people in the family that love small town dramas. So, that's my thoughts on Cars. Let me know what you think of Cars. Where are you at on it? And thanks so much. I'll see you next time on Pixar Movie Reviews. I'm Josiah. Thanks for watching.